Top 5 Ghosts Scary.
Calling all daredevils. You're in for a treat on Conan's show. I've curated 5 videos that'll send shivers down your spine, challenging even the bravest among you. Subscribe for a pulse-pounding experience. Number 5. Humans aren't the only ones sensing ghosts in our midst. Animals are well known for being sensitive to various stimuli. They often accurately predict earthquakes, acting extremely anxious and skittish beforehand. These sensitivities also seem to include sensing paranormal entities. There are countless stories of pet owners describing their pets reacting to unseen figures or becoming distressed before a paranormal event. Happy Fox Productions, a channel making short films from comedy to action to drama, had a different experience. Founder Justin Nelson explained that during a vacation with his mother in December, their home security picked up something strange. Upon returning home, they noticed the cats acting differently. Concerned, they checked the footage and found something shocking and puzzling. In the video, one cat is visible on the bed, standing upright and looking around. She reacts to something near the exit of the room, and then an unexplained shadow is cast against the door, resembling a person with arms and legs. The shadow appears to walk past the door and into the bedroom, and as it fades, the second cat enters, seemingly following the unseen. Both cats appear confused. As the second cat fully enters the room, a TV table rocks. A dark mist briefly appears over a chair before vanishing, and the door starts closing on its own. The clip ends when the camera suddenly pans to the right, and Nelson mentions it stayed there for the remainder of their time away. In the video's description, he notes that besides a few knocked over books, nothing seemed out of place. However, he found clumps of cat hair around, indicating that cats were fighting, which was odd as they had never fought before. Number 4. A paranormal investigator from South Korea, known as Dr. McCall, is standing at the entrance of a spooky abandoned apartment building. This place has a haunted reputation that not many people dare to explore. Dr. McCall is there with respect for the spirits and is just recording paranormal evidence out of scientific curiosity. However, as he takes a few steps inside, he notices an object moving on its own.
누구세요?
A ghost pushing over a box is eerie, but it's not frightening enough to halt the investigation. He continues exploring the building, and as a result, the objects inside continue to move.
잠깐만.
Rather than fleeing in fear like most people would, he courageously chooses to inspect an object after a ghost moves it. I don't see any strings tied around this stool, but I suppose someone could have pulled it away by hand. Just as he's about to leave the room, the poltergeist refuses to be ignored.
뭔 소리야?
A shelf tips over on its own. Initially, I thought somebody might have been hiding on the other side of the door. But see what happens when he checks the room.
이거 여러분들 잡기는 아닙니다. 이거 잡기는
The second full-size shelf somehow falls out from within the small space behind the door, which is not big enough for a person to fit behind. When he checks behind the door at 6 minutes and 4 seconds, you can just barely see a shadow figure caught on camera down a different hallway. The ghost hunter notices one of the doors leading into a dark apartment is open. He senses a paranormal entity is near. As he investigates a little further, a scary moment unfolds.
걸어가고 있어.
One thing I particularly appreciate about D-Dog is that no matter how scared he gets, he always ensures not to back down. He courageously looks behind the door and into the empty apartment. And he discovers nothing. I see no strings attached to the sandals, especially during this close-up taken at 8 minutes and 59 seconds. However, this could potentially be fake because the sandals take tiny steps and never actually leave the ground, which is not how a person walks. Regardless, he finds slippers in front of another open door and encounters the same scary events.
아, 잠깐.
This time, he went inside the apartment and confirmed it's totally empty. When he picks up the slippers, you can clearly see there are no strings attached. So at this point, I'm finally creeped out. While arranging an experiment to find paranormal activity inside this apartment, a mysterious figure briefly shows up in the hallway. Was it a ghost captured on camera, or was it just a prop? Number 3. With the rise of home security systems, individuals can now capture the most unusual moments on what might appear to be just another ordinary day. User Prometheus92 shared a post on the Paranormal subreddit recounting an incident involving him and his daughter on Thanksgiving, while they were in the kitchen preparing dinner late at night. A brief moment diverted their attention from the task. Without any apparent explanation, an empty bottle on a counter a few feet behind them inexplicably tipped over. No one else was nearby at the time, and the camera's recognition software did not pick up any movement upon closer inspection. Upon review, it was observed that the bottle toppled over as if aggressively pushed or flicked with a finger. Both the father and daughter noticed it, pausing in contemplation over what had happened. In the Reddit post, Prometheus explains that this was the first such instance, and neither he nor his wife had any relatives pass away around that time. He has made several edits to update people on the situation, providing a backstory to the events. He explains that the house is over 70 years old, with various owners prior to him. Strange occurrences began after he heard noises from the attic and investigated, finding an old rocking chair made for a toddler, which none of the previous owners claimed to have. Prometheus mentions that strange incidents started only after he moved the rocking chair into the storm shelters. There are various incidents of spirits becoming attached to objects they held dearly in life, and moving or tossing such objects can cause distress, often serving as the catalyst for paranormal activity. Considering the size of the chair and the minor events that transpired, it is possible that the spirit could be that of a child, harmless and only causing a mild disturbance. However, with the limited information available, it is difficult to determine. Due to the positive response from viewers and the number of views it has garnered, Prometheus is considering live streaming the chair for an entire night. Now, this has not happened, but we certainly hope he does to further document the strange happenings in his home and determine whether or not they are related to the chair. Number 2. A shopkeeper named Cherie from Romania is exploring a haunted abandoned house. The ghost in the house dates back a long time. They're trying to find a way inside when a poltergeist gets angry and makes it clear that it doesn't want them anywhere near the haunted grounds. They find an unlocked door, but once inside, the paranormal activity ramps up. I didn't understand what they said, but I heard windows breaking all around them. They hastily climbed out of one to escape. However, they made the mistake of looking back at the not-so-abandoned house. Fleeing from ongoing poltergeist activity, Cherie and friends had left the house. Months later, Cherie reluctantly recalls the scary experience. When friends suggest revisiting the haunted house for exploration, he agrees. During their ghost hunt, while examining a window, Cherie believes he sees a phantom figure. A spooky sensation suddenly hits them, making them leave the house. Their camera won't focus again, as if an unseen phantom has trailed them into the woods and is now standing in front of them.
Așa, frate, veniți să facem. Așa să se focalizeze.
They catch a quick look at the ghost through another window. I'd describe it as someone in robes, but when their camera won't focus again, it makes me think it might be something paranormal. This time, they don't run away and try to capture more on tape. As they can't stay for long to avoid potential harm, they decide to position additional cameras throughout the house. They capture paranormal evidence of a ghost sighting on tape, though there's a possibility of video editing. It vanishes, and in its spot appears a mysterious mist. Afterward, the window opens on its own. This time, they discover a part of the house that's boarded up, like a hidden entrance. However, a frightening noise from the other side of the wall scares off the aspiring ghost hunters. Curiosity nags at them for 2 weeks until they decide to explore the haunted building again for one last paranormal investigation. They encounter more of the same unexplained out-of-focus camera issues, but this time in a different part of the house, which doesn't make sense considering it's a different camera. However, at this point, such strangeness is expected. What they didn't expect was to see the fandom revealing its skeletal ghost face in the window. Either it's a convincing mask, or I won't be getting any sleep tonight. Share your thoughts on this final piece of paranormal evidence. Is it a genuine ghost sighting captured on tape or just video editing? The video quality doesn't seem to drop, so I'm unsure if it's real or fake. Number 1. This couple is dedicated, as their description states, to searching for paranormal activity in places with terrifying histories. Sometimes when investigating, hosts have reported that entities followed investigators to their homes. In their case, they believed that someone they had made contact with on a previous investigation did just that. In January, they hosted a live stream to document what they believed was a haunting in their home. Hoping to find evidence and answers, they invited the public to join the session. The first half of the investigation seemed to produce little results, but something disturbing appeared as they ventured down the stairs. Through a glazed window overlooking the stairs, the figure of a woman could be seen staring towards the camera. At first glance, it could easily be mistaken for a painting. However, upon closer inspection, you can see there is actual depth to it, something a painting would be impossible to have. The figure looks either like a woman with long dark hair or someone wearing a robe. To further prove it is not a painting, the same window is shown a few minutes later, and the figure is gone. Furthermore, they venture outside to show the other side, and it is several feet above the ground, making it impossible for anyone to get up there without a ladder. Nothing around the window resembles the figure, as it has simply vanished. As they descend further down the stairs, an orb can be seen flying fast across the top left corner of the screen. Once they reach the bottom step, a loud, low exhale can be
La esfera.
The sound is too low-pitched to be from either of the couple, as we could hear them breathing beforehand, and it doesn't match. It's also possible it was the sound of something sliding, although we cannot see what or if anything moves. Unfortunately, the remainder of the video becomes uneventful, and other apparent orbs can be easily explained. For example, while they are filming a mirror, a glowing orb-like spectacle can be seen flying around. However, when the camera's light is turned off, it disappears, meaning it was simply a glare from the light itself. It's terrifying to imagine something becoming attached to you and following you back to your home. It's one of the risks when going on investigations, meaning it is not for the faint of heart. It also shows how there are more than just physical dangers on these adventures, whereas even professional investigators like Ghost Adventures suffer from severe states of paranormal oppression and even possession. This serves as a warning for those who decide to take up the cause for themselves. Take heed and be aware of what you're getting into, even if you are a skeptic or non-believer. Respect the locations you are visiting.